I want to talk a problem that we all know is here. Like all you have to do is look around on the streets and you can see that we have a obesity and overweight problem in our country. And so I'm looking at some of the recent numbers here, and 70% of the US population, the adult population, is overweight or obese. Okay. That is a lot of people. That is way more than most people. Um, I started thinking how much of those, what is that other 30%? Like what percent of those people are actually healthy by some metric? So I started doing some digging, and it looks like 23% of adults meet the recommended guidelines for both aerobic and muscle strengthening activities. So what are those? Aerobic is defined as getting at least 150 minutes of moderate to low intensity activity per week. So it would be basically like 30 minutes, like 20 or 30 minutes a day, like over a 5-day period. Muscle strengthening is 2 or more days of muscle strengthening activities. So resistance training incorporating the whole body. Okay. So only 23% of the country is moving 30 minutes ish a day and exercising twice a week. That's pretty wild considering, and I think we could all agree that 100% of people in the world want to be healthy. They want to be fit. They want to look and feel good. So why is it in the US, our country here, like only 23% of people are like meeting those minimum standards, right? And so I want to talk about one of the reasons that that's happening. Before I dive into one of the major reasons this is happening, first, I want to introduce myself. So my name is Alex Cook, been a health, wellness coach, personal trainer for about 14 years now. I've worked with thousands of people throughout the country, throughout the world, on helping them make meaningful change in their life, fitness, and health. So whether you wanted to lose 5 pounds or 100 pounds or build strength, change your body in some way, like that's what I've helped people do. So let's dive in. There's a thing called the complexity trap. And really what that means is people want to seek out complex and difficult solutions to their problem because they think it makes them sound more interesting or the person they're learning from more interesting. And so we will make complicated things that are very simple. And this is where I think people have seeked and pursued so many diets and training things, programs that really just overcomplicate what it means to be healthy. As we kind of outlined earlier, like if you're resistance training twice a week and moving 150 minutes throughout the whole week, like then you're ahead of most people, right? By that metric, you're part of that 23%. And so one of the ways you can get healthier than what I would say 99% of people is just following like a handful of simple like rules, a handful of simple guidelines. Okay. So my aim here is to just let's make some let's not complicate things. Let's make it very simple, very actionable, very easy to manage. Okay. But you have to be willing to let go of that. Has to be hard. The hard part about getting healthy is that a lot of the things that you must do are things you haven't been doing. So it's only hard because you haven't been doing it. It's not hard to actually do it. And you have to if you understand that, then you're going to be good. So when it comes to just being healthy overall, especially since 70% of the population is overweight, first rule is just manage your overall calories. Okay. There's a million ways to do this. There's calculators, there's things online. Those are, I will admit, imperfect, right? But they're a starting spot. So go online. I could link something here in the notes. Just find a calculator. Just figure out like where you should be calorically. A quick, easy way is take your weight and just multiply it by 10. So if you're 200 pounds, 200 times 10, 2,000 calories. Just shoot for that as like a spot. Part of that, of managing your calories, is also prioritizing protein. So just get more protein. And if you can get it throughout the day with each meal, That's going to be better too, as far as managing hunger, energy, cravings. And another general rule, which again, you could go and find calculators to give you like at least a starting spot with calories, is just take your body weight, and that's like the amount of protein. So the example from a minute ago, 200-pound person, 2,000 calories, 200-pound person, 200 grams of protein. Again, just start there and then backfill the rest of those calories with basically like whatever you want to start. Again, don't overcomplicate it. You're going to read things about keto, paleo, like all these different things. Like the first thing you need to do is just eat an appropriate amount of food and get nutrient dense food. And so pick the nutrient dense foods you like, get them in the right portions, start there. That's it. Like I promise you, like that's going to get you ahead of most people. Okay. Second, resistance training. Like we saw in like some of the data, like if you're resistance training twice a week, you're ahead of most people. From my personal opinion and experience and working with a lot of people, if you can get 2 to 4 days a week of some sort of like resistance training, so again, full body movements. If you've been training for a while, then you can do like what are called workout splits, where you do like maybe upper body one day, lower body, arms, abs. If you're new, and even if you're not, like I would suggest doing like three, like again, 2 to 4 days total, but 3 days of like full body workouts. Like you're going to see a lot of progress, strength, flexibility, all that equates to like healthy metabolism, better hunger, energy cravings, all that good stuff. So resistance training, that's a big one. And here's the thing too, there's a lot of research that's showing right now that even if you're not doing like 3 workouts a week for like 30 to 60 minutes, like even doing what are called exercise snacks can make like huge progress, like in mental health, body composition, energy, all the stuff that you're wanting, right? And so exercise snacks are basically just doing like 2 or 3 movements for like 2 to 4 minutes, like throughout the day. So you do something like, squats, push-ups, planks, or something like that. Do 2 rounds in the morning, do 2 rounds after lunch, do 2 rounds like after dinner, or just do it even once a day. Like the goal here is just to do something, right? And then you can build on that based on your progress and based on your goals that you'll set, over the course of however long. Okay. Movement, that's another one. Like movement is different than exercise in that all we're looking at, again, like the study showed, is like 150 minutes throughout the week. So here, all you're planning is like maybe 2 15-minute blocks of like walking, or 3 10-minute blocks of walking. You can move throughout the day, that's better. But don't overcomplicate it. Like you'll see like 8 to 10,000 steps is ideal, which probably is. But if you're only moving 2,000 steps a day, then even 3,000 steps is going to be progress. Again, don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Let your focus be getting from 2,000 to 3,000. And then after a few weeks, go from 3 to 5 and just keep building. Don't let like the gap of where you are and where you want to be, don't let all this space in the middle be too overwhelming. Just start where you're at and make progress. And another thing with body composition is movement like that is actually going to account for most of your calories burned. So just to keep it like brief, like 70% of the calories you burn throughout the day are basically like genetics. It's like a default, like you're going to burn like 70% of your calories going to be burned through like breathing, digestion, all these things like you are not even aware of or conscious of. 30% that you are in control of, 20% is going to come from movement, like we're talking about. And that other little bit is going to come through food and exercise. So all that to say, like movement is going to account for as much, if not more, calories burned than your diet and training. So don't neglect that. Stay active. There's a million other benefits to that. The other part of that, number 4, is drinking more water. Like in short, just shoot for half your body weight in ounces. Like that's it. To add to that, definitely you don't want to just drink any water. You want to drink good water, clean water, nutrient dense water. So spring water is one that for me made a huge difference. I used to drink like 2 gallons of water a day. I would fill it from the faucet, drink it, still felt like crap. Switch to spring water. I can drink half as much, feel much more hydrated, feel better. And again, we all know the benefits of like staying hydrated. Just make it simple. If you're 200 pounds, shoot for 100 ounces. If you're only getting 20 ounces of water, then aim for 40 and work up to 100. Again, don't overcomplicate it. As far as execution, just drink a little bit of water with each meal, and then drink water before, during, and after training. This is like an easy way. Like if you're eating 3 meals a day, you drink 12 ounces of water, it's 36 ounces, like right there. If you drink, say 12 ounces before, during, and after a workout, it's another 36. Already you're at 70 some ounces of water. Like it's an easy way. Don't overthink it. Just make it a priority. And then stress management is going to be another big one. So your ability to do all these things comes from your ability to manage stress in your life, things that are going on with work, your job, your life, like just the world as a whole, right? And so you need to be able to have like an outlet. Now, walking and your training can also be a way to manage your stress. So there's extra benefits to doing those things. But managing stress is also going to help you manage things like your hunger, your energy, your food cravings, your sleep. These are all different biofeedback signals that are so important in your ability to do all the other things we just mentioned. So again, it could be breath work, could be warm baths, could be cold showers, you hear a lot about sauna and cold plunge these days. Those are great ways. Those are adaptive stressors, just like exercise. So it raises your stress tolerance, doesn't get rid of stress, just makes you more like bulletproof to stress. And so massage, different like body work things can be helpful. And then any obviously personal development, perspective, mindset, those things also help negate the effects of stress. And really the big thing about buffering stress is making sure that metabolically your body is good, that it's strong, and that all the things you're doing, it can get the benefits of that. I've seen it so many times with clients where we're doing everything right, but they're so stressed out that their body's just it's not changing, it's not doing anything. So don't sleep on stress management, right? It's becoming more normal, I think, in our culture and society to take care of mental health and manage stress, but there's still that hustle and grind and do it anyway mentality that is often to the detriment of the person. So definitely take care of yourself mentally, emotionally. It's just going to have a lot of benefits on you metabolically, hormonally. And so I would say those are the 5 things to really focus on, right? And so again, don't overcomplicate it. Okay. To recap, we're looking at managing your calories, prioritizing protein, right? Number 2, we're looking at exercise. We're looking at resistance training. 3, we're looking at movement, just keeping an active lifestyle. We're looking at drinking more water. We're looking at managing stress. Just focus on these 5 things. Make them as easy as possible. Everything we just outlined are guidelines to shoot for, but wherever you're at, just aim to be better. Just aim to be 1% better each day or each week. Just aim for progress. You're not going to figure it out overnight. And forget about all the diets and the different training programs. You use them to start with, but don't be so tied to them that if you can't follow them, then you're a failure or it's not good. Any diet or training can honestly work for the most part if you stick to it. So you have to find a way to stick to whatever you're doing, which makes this more of an art than a science, because you can't just follow a diet or training program. You have to create one. And so use them as templates to start, but then add what's your unique elements to it. You have to honor your own personal likes and dislikes when it comes to this stuff. So be fluid with all of this. Be able to ebb and flow with the process. Don't be too attached to it. Just use everything we talked about as a guideline. Okay. So again, I said a lot here, a lot of jibber jabber. Hopefully it makes sense. Let me know if you have questions on anything. I work with people one-on-one in applying all of these things and creating these things for your life. I also have a group coaching program where we do the same thing, just with a group of people. Definitely check out my website. I have a newsletter each week that dives into more of the principles of these things. And if this was useful, pass it on to somebody. If you like it, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you hated it. Let me know if you liked it. Enjoy the day.